Guys, what is up? We're here, it's your boy Ben, and today we're gonna make another creating new Pokemon video because the last one actually did really well. So here we go. Now this time, instead of going in my yard, I went in my front area, whatever you call it, front lawn. And so be expecting a grass type of some sort because there's a lot of plants, and I mean a lot of plants that I discover. And so yeah, if you didn't see the last video, go check it out to know what I'm gonna be doing. But let's get started on what I saw. Now before we start, I just want to say one more thing. I have been practicing my Pokemon drawing style, doing a little sketches. Maybe in the future they will become Pokemon, just so that I can kind of have more of the Pokemon style in my drawings, because I noticed last time the frog, Horog, he was missing a lot of Pokemon aspects. So right away, I saw some white flowers with yellow insides, and I mean, they look cool, but I don't think I'm making a flower Pokemon. There's already so many, and I think I want to create something a little more original, so I'm just going to keep moving on. Now, something else that I noticed was this pot, like this really old, like, vase kind of pot. And there's a bunch of, like, I don't know if they're dead flowers or just branches inside with a lot of dirt. Maybe I could make some sort of vase that was, like, inherited by a ghost. And the flowers inside of the pots were also ghosts. It would be like a ghost grass type. I mean, there's a lot of those, but it's a pretty cool idea. As I continued walking, I noticed moss was growing on all of the trees, similar to my garden. And I guess a moss Pokemon would be boring, but I could still see it happening, so I'll make sure to keep that in mind for sure. I also saw under one of the trees a pine cone. First, I'm just like, a pine cone Pokemon kind of already exists in Pineco. But next to the pine cone were all these holes. And I really don't know what or who made them, but I could have made a pine cone Pokemon that was sort of like a rat or a bunny, and it would like dig burrows in the ground. That's a good idea. Let's keep moving. Now, another thing I noticed was like this thing in the ground, like this lid that had big words on it that said water, so I'm assuming it holds water in it. What if I made a Pokemon that was like this big canister, like for its body, but instead of holding water inside, it would have its food, like berries or whatever. And the final thing I saw was this little bud. And there's already a bud Pokemon, Badoo. But, bud, I don't know, maybe I could do something more with this. Like, if I kind of combined what I saw earlier, what if it was like a bud that had water all over it, and then like slowly started growing out of the water and had moss all over it? Oh, and also I saw a worm. What if I made a bud worm? Like, kind of like that, Apple Flapple Pokemon? What if I made a bud that had a little worm inside, and basically it was like this worm that was slowly getting out. Its pupa stage would be like, you know, the like hardened version of the bud, and then its final stage would be like this big worm bud monster. Alright, so I decided to draw this idea because it seemed like a pretty good one, so I started off with drawing a good shape for a bud, which took surprisingly long. Like, there were so many failed attempts, so many sketches, I just couldn't find a right shape. It was either too flat, too spiky, too perfect. It took me a while, but eventually find the right shape. So I start to draw circles for the eyes. Kind of want the eyes to be like peeking through, and I put the little dots. And they didn't look right. They looked too much like my frog. So I made more like Metapod eyes, and I liked it. It looked pretty good. I added the Pokemon eyes, but something wasn't right. So I just deleted the whole thing and started from the beginning. I needed to draw more, bud-looking shape. And I was pretty happy with this one, so I just erased some of the outlines, made it look a little cleaner. Yes, I know layers exist, but I don't use them because they always get me in trouble. So I decided to draw a giant hole in the side with the Pokemon coming out of the hole with a really happy expression on its face. And I'm kind of just reworking like the face and stuff, add like the body, erase the line so it doesn't look like, it's weird. Put a little line there that you'll be barely able to see. Trying to find a good color for the bud. For now, it's good enough. I make the hole, and I can't decide whether I want a pink worm with a brown line, like a standard worm, or like the worm I saw, where it's brown with more of a pink line. Eventually, because that was the worm I saw, I decided to go with that one. So, I decided that the bud needed to be a little brighter. Not bright enough. There we go. That looks good. So I started to start adding marks on it, but it looked too messy, so I just removed it, and I just started shading. Meet word, because it sounded good, but worm and bud, basically. It's a bud worm Pokemon. Its type is only grass. If you thought it was going to be a bug type, you're wrong, because worms aren't bugs, they're just invertebrates. Its ability is sturdy, which means if it gets hit with a super powerful attack, it'll stay at 1 HP. Here's its stats. It's not the greatest, but it has good defense at least. Here's the shiny. As you can see, I decided to go with the pink worm idea that I was thinking of at the beginning and made it into the shiny. Worms love to stay inside of their buds. They love the safety it offers. Did I miss? No. Did I? No. There's a 30% chance of it being male and a 70% chance of it being female. Here is what happens when it falls below 50% health. This is what its stats turn into. As you can tell, comparing from this, the HP rises as well as the attack, but the defense and special attack lower greatly. This is what happens after it falls below half health. Its bud basically breaks. So here's the overview. Let's make the evolution. Alright, so I wanted to make this the same kind of bud, but I wanted the worm to kind of become the flower, if the entire time the worm was actually part of the plant, which it wasn't, but it fused with the plant after its evolution. Getting a good broken down bud shape was already hard enough. Eventually I had a good shape in mind. It kind of looks like a crescent. I drew the shape of the worm with the split in between, and I drew the flower because I thought it would look nice. I added some lines, the eyes that worm had, a nice little mouth, and I started adding the thorns. I added the same little, I don't even know what to call it, that was on the worm, put little spikes on the edge of its hands, and added a couple more touches, and then started coloring. Ikaga, the Love Bud Pokemon. Its type, Grass Fairy. Ikaga meaning I, which is love, and Kaga, which is bud, so it literally translates to love bud. Anyway, this Pokemon, Ikagas love to spend their time in the sun. They help other lonely, sad, and injured Pokemon by healing them mentally and physically. So yeah, they have healing powers that can heal, like, their teammates, themselves, but they can also make other Pokemon feel better. Here's the shiny. It's based on the orange versions. It evolves from Werb at level 21, and its ability is Iron Barbs, which is whenever it gets hit, the opponent takes damage. Same gender-female ratio as Werb. Here's its stats, and here's the overview. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I just wanted to say that any Pokemon that I made before but didn't finish, I may be working on them later, just tweaking them up to make them look better. And I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and